Hi homeowner, this is Frank. I want to update you on the house. Today is March the 18th. We tried to do an earlier video, but there was just so much noise we just couldn't get it done. So I want to walk through the house. As you can see, framing's almost done. We have to put on the upper deck, and then we're ready for siding. We're actually going to start putting siding on Monday. And I want to walk through the house. There may be some stutters from me, I apologize, but it's a lot to talk about. I want to show you some of the things that you may, as a buyer, may wonder, I wonder if the builder did this or that. You know, rumored things that sometimes don't happen. So I want to walk through these now and show you some of the things that you can expect with your new home, okay? First thing I want to start with is this is, and I hear this complaint a lot. People worried that they don't have the correct footers under where their decks are. And I want to show you that here's your footer. The poles are perfectly centered. And the bracket that goes underneath has actually got a space under that bracket so that water won't stay in constant contact with the concrete. You'll find that the pole lasts longer. Of course, we're going to pour concrete around these anyway, but it keeps the water from wicking up through the bottom of the post. Now we're inside your garage, and I want to talk about your window systems. These come from Central Woodworks. That's that symbol right there. Low E. This is a colonial style window, and the key point I want to point out here is your trim. This trim is what's called a PVC composite along with this section and this part of the window. And these sashes are the most common thing to rot, along with this. It's called a sill nose plate right here. Those are the most common things to rot. This is the good thing about the window. And the doors are the same way. They come with a 50-year guarantee. Wood windows, when it rains, they swell, and it's a little hard to open and close them, and then you'll notice, a couple days later, they free up again. These will do the same thing, but instead of working with the weather, they work with the heat. So thermal expansion will happen. They'll pinch the windows a little bit, and then when it cools down, they open freely again. And you have to find that balance between too tight and air leakage. We could make them as so loose they would always work great, but then you might get a little bit of air coming through in the wintertime, more than you expect from these, and you'd find that troublesome. So we try to find that happy medium. We think it's a really good trade-off because of the longevity of the windows. You just don't have to worry about the wood on them, All right, so here's the rest of your garage. Some things to point out is these are called joist hangers. These is another thing home inspectors pick up all the time because people didn't put in the proper joist hangers. You'll find all joist hangers installed properly. Also, anchor bolts. This escapes me at the moment, but every certain number of feet, we have an anchor bolt, and these blocks are core filled all the way down. So from here up to here, your structure is attached with bolt, nut, and washer all around to give it that strength. Here, as we spoke in the first video, these are your flood vents. And what we did to add a little extra, up to right about here, 4 feet, 5 feet, we core filled them with concrete. Because we start thinking if there ever was a flood, we want to really make this strong so water won't push on the concrete walls and possibly cause a structural problem. So these are really strong now. You're going to have a couple poles here and here, to help carry this weight. And this is actually over framed from Husky lumber. It's actually stronger than it needs to be. We'll put the poles in to keep bounce out of the floor upstairs. Here will be the air handler for upstairs. We'll hang it from the joist, should be fine. I'll have to talk with codes as far as insulating and drywall. I didn't want to do either one under here because if there was ever a flood, I didn't want the moisture getting to the drywall. So I just want you to know that if you see drywall here, it's a code requirement. I wanted to keep it open and airy so that way, if there ever was water, you didn't have to worry about replacing any drywall. We'll probably have to drywall it. Okay, up we go. Now, this is where it gets exciting. We're going into the main house. And I won't go over the complete layout. I'm just going to point some things out of things we have planned to do. This is your kitchen. The kitchen will come across here, peninsula here. Your refrigerator is right there. And here you're going to have a built-in microwave down low. And then we're taking shaker cabinets all the way to the ceiling, give you that extra bit of storage space, plus it looks awesome. White shaker cabinets, island will be black. And this is your fireplace. And well, I want to talk about this for a moment because in the drawing section, the design section, I didn't want to put the TV here because we have the stairwell hill. Plus you have light shadows. You know, new LCD screens, they reflect light. And as you can see how much light comes in, you get nothing but reflections. Plus, if you're in the kitchen, you can't see the TV. So what I decided to do was to forego the view in the center, give you a fireplace. We're going to put a mantle, and then right here, we're going to put a slit for the equipment to go. That's where your TV is going to go. So while you're sitting in the living room, you can see a view this way. You can see a view this way. And if you're in the kitchen, washing dishes, whatever, you look over, there you go. You can see the TV. And I'm going to show you one other thing. So this is a gas log vent-free fireplace. I put it in specifically so that right here, I'm going to put a piece of granite so you have a place to put your drinks and stuff while you're entertaining your guests outside. And let's walk over here. This will be your washer and dryer, water heater, and right here, I'm going to put a smart system. I'm not going to run every single room with Cat 5 just because everything's going wireless. So we're going to run our cable systems in here, cable and Cat 5 over to here, cable and Cat 5 upstairs, and that's pretty much it because everything else, you buy new TVs, they all connect wirelessly. So that should be plenty for you to get going, and you put your wireless router here, which is dead center of the house. Here's the PVC door I was speaking of. This door will go right here. This is your porch coming off of your master bedroom. So when you wake up in the morning, there's your view. I'll also put mini blinds inside the glass so you can keep it closed for your privacy. This is a tray ceiling with a ceiling fan and can lights in here. This is a pocket door. This is going to be your vanity, custom shower, toilet, and there is your closet, your master closet, and we'll have an air return in this area somewhere. So you lose a little space here, but it's a good spot for an air return. Upstairs we go. Actually, we'll pause this for 1 second. Okay, we're upstairs, third floor, and these are some things you may find interesting, you may not. What we use here is we use a truss system on the roofs. These are 2x4 joists, but they're engineered so strong that technically we don't have to have any walls in here. These will support these carry up to a 40-foot span. And the noise you hear is we have a storm's coming in, so you're hearing the vapor barrier on the side of the house rattling. Here, this is where your upstairs air handler goes. And you'll see that it comes up from here. This is 11 inches from the ceiling up to here is 11 inches, and it gives you a cushion so you don't hear the air handler rattling inside the attic. We have 8-foot ceilings up here. The architect was very insistent on doing this. He's done a lot of studies, and he says this will save a lot of fuel costs by having 8-foot ceilings here. So here, in this case, because of the layout, I didn't want to put the TV here because you could only have a 32-inch screen. So we're going to put the Cat 5 and the cable on this wall. And you could probably set up an L-type system here so you can see out. Here, you'll be able to put seating area. We're gonna have a couple cans up here, seating area, or you can build a bookshelf, wherever you want there. This is the upstairs bedroom number 1. The bed will be here, so when you wake in the morning and you look right, there's the view of the river. Love it. And one other thing to point out, you'll notice that we're a little absent on windows on the side of the house. We probably put them in the front, on the side, or we've put them in specific locations to bring in some natural light. And the reason for that is typical neighborhood. You're close to your next door neighbor, so we just put them here so you can still have your view, but you're not looking into you're not watching your neighbor brush his teeth or make their breakfast. Bedroom number 2. This is actually right here, Jack and Jill, and this is what I call the second master. It's the upstairs. Again, corner window just to let the light in because there's going to be another house here. Vanity, standard shower, standard commode, and that's that on this one. One other point I want to make out is I'm a recessed can light fan. So we are going to put the main lighting in this entire house is going to be LED can lights. They last up to 22 years. You don't have to change bulbs in them all the time. They put out fantastic light. If you look on my house site on frankshouse.com, all the projects you see on there are LED lighting. Even with customers that have said, well, we like incandescent lighting, and we put in LED and tell them, what do you think? And they actually like it better than incandescent. So you're going to love that. We're going to put ceiling fans here or there. Ceiling fan here, 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 one in the master bedroom. We're going to put 2 ceiling fans on each deck, and we're going to put 2 ceiling fans in your living room or grand room downstairs, whichever you want to choose. So that's it for the update right now, and we'll see you on the next video.